All right, you lot, don't forget to give us a follow on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And while you're at it, give us a 5-star rating. Trust me, it really does help us out. But obviously your time at Red Bull, you know, you're known now for one of, I mean, I've got to be honest, mate, the way your Twitter account has grown in the last kind of 12 months even. What does it take to be good at Twitter? Because we're talking about this beforehand, and you're just like, I don't know. But you've obviously got something. You've obviously got some like there's a sharpness there. There's a wit, I think, that I think Twitter really appreciates.
Just don't take yourself too seriously. I think, you know, if it's a bad weekend. When I was working at Red Bull, I was still using that Twitter account. If we had a bad weekend, I'd crack a joke about it or whatever. Because you know, if you can't laugh about it, what's the point?
Yeah.
You know, and just have fun with it, man. Make F1 fun again, right?
It's true. It's got all. I was saying this about, you know, that whole like Alonso Hamilton beef.
Yeah.
And it was like, it wasn't even that deep, but I think people, you know, because people kind of side one side or the other. I think with F1, it's more like, because most fans are invested in drivers more than teams. Sure, there's Red Bull fans, but most Red Bull fans are either Checo or Max fans more than they are Red Bull fans, and they'll follow that driver wherever. And I think that maybe causes a bit more kind of, few more problems. But obviously again, we've talked about this, and there's a couple of good stories I know, and I'm sure there's some others I don't, but like, it did get you in trouble, maybe a couple of times.
Maybe, yes. I think I got an official warning once from HR. For what did I tweet? I can't remember what it was now, because this is how often it happens. It was something really like small, but it got blown up. I remember there was the yellow flag incident under qualifying in, was it Jeddah last year?
Right.
I think it's where Max set his qualifying lap, but there was a yellow out.
Okay.
I can't remember. It was something like that. Anyway.
Yeah. That kind of incident.
Yeah. And I posted a screenshot of the regulations that said at a night race, a light board takes precedence over a flag because it's more visible.
Yep.
And then I posted that up saying, don't worry, we've got to get out of jail free card, lads. It's all good.
Yeah.
A journalist who remains unknown to me to this day printed out that tweet at the track, handed it to Christian and said, is this Red Bull's official stance? Could you give a comment on it? And at that point, I think Christian already knew about my Twitter account, and he was just like, you got to stop. Like, this is, like, we can't keep having this. And
why would it judges say, is this your official, what Red Bull's official stance is going to come out of at engine mode 11?
It's going to come out of me, guys.
Like, I'm not being funny. Like, because what was your, did you used to have Red Bull gear on in your profile picture?
Yes.
Because aren't they a bit funny about that?
Yes, I did get told off for that. There's a photo of me hanging out on the pit wall in Barcelona winter testing that had my kit on and a headset. All the gear, no idea. And they said, you're not allowed to have team kit on your Twitter account because it could be misconstrued that you're representing the team. And I was like, look, whatever. Fine. So I changed it to something else.
Yeah.
I think I may have even changed it to me topless in my kids' paddling pool.
No, I remember that one.
The Big Dad
Classic.
energy.
Yeah, that's it. Like it.
So yeah, they were really funny about things like that. And you weren't allowed to have F1 in your Twitter handle. Or like any reference to Red Bull in your profile. But they told me all this after my account was like 2 years old and everyone already knew that I worked at Red Bull. So I was like, well, what do you want me to do? That horse has already bolted.
Yeah, it's a bit late for that. Because did anyone else at the team, or because I imagine obviously over the years you get to know other people in other teams as well, and you know, were there anyone else who would post regularly on Twitter or not even just post but just engage with it a lot as well?
I don't think so. I think there's one guy that I know, Mark Lane from Alpine.
Yes, I follow Mark. Yeah,
he
posts quite a bit.
Yeah, I think he's an aerodynamicist at Alpine, and he still works there. But I don't think there's anyone to the level of my engagement actively working at a team. And for good reason, because you end up visiting HR quite often, so that'd be a lesson to you.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential trip hazards there, I suppose.
Yeah.
Are there any other like stories of you getting kind of pulled up for? Because obviously you've got to toe that line, right? When you're working for a brand and an organisation, especially an F1 team when there's so much money involved. They obviously want to control but then obviously if you want to express yourself, and Twitter's like fun. Like, you know, it can be very toxic at times. We've all experienced it, but also it's like
it's a laugh.
I engage with it all the time because I would anyway. You know what I mean? I enjoy, but were there any other times you got kind of tripped up?
Was there any other times I got tripped
I
up?
want to see if there's any more juice I can squeeze out of this.
There was a good one where it wasn't my fault. I'm just going to preface this, but there was a time at Australia. When was it? 2018, maybe. FP2 or 3. Daniel Ricciardo. Well, the team lost all the GPS. So we didn't know where the cars were out on track at any one point. And that's actually really dangerous. A lot of people, I think, underappreciate how important it is to have constant GPS so you know where the fast cars are, the slow cars are. And my favourite memory of that is there was a radio message that went out to Daniel during the session that was broadcast on Sky F1 saying, "Oh, Daniel, we've lost GPS to the car." And I just thought that was really funny because I was in the background trying to fix it, and I heard that come over the radio. I was like, "Oh, that's me!" But yeah, it's that wasn't my that was FIA's fault, not mine. So
that wasn't your fault. That's not your responsibility.
No, I got away with that. Our stuff was fine. It was just an issue on the FIA end. But I just thought it was funny. The only time I'm ever referenced is when something went wrong.
You had your moment of fame.
I did, yeah.